We are in volume 10 of the Bible story by not Matthew, Arthur S Maxwell. My brain is woohoo right now. Okay, so we are in, whoa, pretty. Okay, we have a painting or watercolor. Looks like it's a 1940 instead of a 50s. But it says 1957. Herbert Rudin, and it has a representation of Jesus, no scars, and a bunch of angels. And looks like down here in the corner is the disciples looking up and seeing them. Okay, so it's Jesus going to heaven. The painting. It's in the first of the book. First one. Okay. And the caption reads, after his life of toil and sacrifice, Jesus ascended to heaven, where he was joyfully received by the angelic host, many of whom had attended him in his last suffering. Yeah, that's what it says. Okay. So we are in part 1, story 1, The Flame from Heaven. How happy the angels must have been on that glorious ascension day. I can almost feel their radiate, radiant, radiant gladness. Couldn't you? Sorry, I go robot and then like go trying to figure out what I said. Okay, let's get back. Joyful, uh, they crowded about their beloved Lord as they sped heavenward, singing David's victory song. Lift up your hands, O ye gates, and be ye lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is the King of glory? Asked the voice of the dwelling place of heaven, crying the angels in unison. The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, even lift up them up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Jesus is indeed a conqueror. He has battled with Satan. And let me turn the page. And won. He has died and risen again. He has proven that God's love is stronger than the devil's hate, and that all of Satan's plans must fail. Okay. Now he takes the place long. Now he takes the place long awaited for him on the right hand of uh, the Majesty on high. But does he really? Amid all this glory, forget his humble followers on earth? No, indeed. Instead, he watches over them more lovingly than ever, hoping they will not fail him. He tells the angels all about them, about Peter, James, John, Thomas, and all the rest, so that they too become deeply interested in his earthly friends. Eagerly they await his call to fly to help to their help in times of need. Meanwhile, down on earth, there is much excitement in a certain room in Jerusalem, it was packed to the doors with 120 people. Among them are the 11 disciples who had been who have just seen Jesus ascend to heaven from the top of the Mount of Olives. The others are full of questions. Did you really go up? Did you did you really see him go up into the sky? One asked. How far did he go before you couldn't see him anymore? And about that cloud, asked another. Was it a real cloud or a cloud of angels? Telling Tell us about the two young men in white, urged somebody else. Are you sure Jesus sent them? Didn't they uh, did they really say Jesus would come back someday? They remembered how he told them to wait in Jerusalem until they should receive power on high. Which, what can this mean? What power? For what? What will it do to them? Nobody can answer these questions. They, uh, they will have to wait and see. But they felt but that they feel that Jesus is going to send them power from heaven. They could get they must get ready to receive it. So they began to pray and continued in prayer. They have some wonderful prayer meetings. I can hear them thanking God for sending Jesus from heaven to live among them and to die for them. I could hear them too thanking him for the friendship of Jesus and for all the lovely times they had together with him. I am sure some of them tell God how much they need courage and strength to witness for Jesus and how they want to be brave and good and true. As they get closer, as they get closer to God, they come closer to one another. Some began to ask forgiveness for hasty words they had said or unkind deeds they have done. There, there are tears in many eyes as some clasp hands, saying, Of course, I forgive you. Please forgive me. So they began So they all began to know something of joy that comes from keeping that beautiful commandment of Jesus, that ye love one another as I love you. Day after day, they stayed together, waiting for Jesus to keep his promise, waiting for the power from heaven. Then, just 7 weeks after the crucifixion, when the day of Pentecost, and then it has it's a Remy, has all these men right here, prayer, the illustration. See, all men praying in the upper room. Okay. Okay. When the day of Pentecost has fully come, something very wonderful happened. Suddenly there was a sound of a rushing mighty wind. It rattled the windows, slammed the doors, shakes the whole house. Then upon then upon every one of them there appears a tongue of fire. like the little thing that's on the Sims, but it's a fire. These those at the back of the room, seeing it flaming upon Peter, James, John, and the rest of the apostles, while they, in turn, see it flashing from the humblest disciple present. For a moment it seems as though the whole house was on fire, and so it was. Until this moment the room had been hushed and quiet. Many of the voices of the people praying have been heard. Now, with this rushing mighty wind and these tongues of flame, all is changed. In one swift moment, everybody was filled with zeal and activity. All began talking at once about the wonderful love of Jesus. They felt they were have prayed enough. Now now they must go out and tell the world about their risen Lord. From the fire-filled room, 10 dozen men and women go forth, aflame of God, eager to carry the light of His love to the uttermost part of the earth. And then it has the illustration. It's 2 pages, and it's a Remy, and yeah, it says Rudin, Harold Rudin. I keep calling him Rooney, but it's Rudin. And this is the painting. Minus the text, but everybody's got a flame of fire on their head. You can most stories have a flame of fire. Most of it has like a lightning bolt. Some cartoonists have it with a lightning bolt. Uh, I've seen it many different ways. And that was part one, story one. And it's time for the break. And um, yeah, one part it got so bad that somebody fell asleep and he fell out the window of the upper room. And I don't know if the next story talks about it, but that happens, and we'll see. I'll be back in just a bit.